They are still reeling from the news of the murders in cold blood. But tonight, friends and neighbors of Byrd and Melanie Billings came together to pay their respects to the surviving family members of the couple that cared for 9 adopted children, all disabled. Investigators believe this was the getaway vehicle. It was used, they say, to transport several guns, including the murder weapon, and under that sheet, the safe stolen from the Billings home. The van belonged to this woman, Pamela Wiggins, charged overnight as an accessory after the fact. She has been released on bond, but the 7 main suspects are now in custody, each facing 2 counts of murder.
We believe that this concludes the major part of our investigation. In our opinion, this was a home invasion robbery where the people stole a safe, and we think it is as simple as that.
You're heading down now to our investigative section.
Well, maybe not quite so simple. In an interview with ABC News, Escambia County Sheriff David Morgan says there is a lot more to this case. He just can't talk about it. I think you've used the word in the last week, humdinger. Is there a humdinger that you simply can't tell us?
Yes, that is a true statement.
So this is a robbery, a home invasion, but it's also something much more.
Much, much more, yes, sir.
Is this you wouldn't believe what's really gone on here?
That's true. If I had determined to write a book, I'd write about this. If I was a scriptwriter, I'd write about this. When the case comes to trial and the information becomes open to the public, how they managed to come together and the plan was formulated and all those intricate things become a matter of public record, I think everyone will be amazed.
That is all the sheriff would say on that topic.
These are the interview rooms right here. Now these are a couple that are exterior, and here's one where it's a holding area.
It is this videotape from the security system at the Billings home that allowed investigators to crack this case so quickly. Within a day, police identified one of the vehicles. That led them to the suspects. The sheriff says he is not sure he'd even have a suspect today were it not for this video. Are you convinced that these men knew that there was a surveillance system?
Yes, I believe that we did have an individual that stated that there was a surveillance system.
Which is what has investigators confused. How well organized was this?
Very well organized. They trained for 30 days for this operation to include their suits and all that and practice the assaults. And again, the one gaping hole in their plan, because if you watch the video, less than 10 minutes on the Billings compound from the time they entered until the time they left. A little over 4 minutes while in the house, the entry to the house through the 2 front doors on the east side and the 1 rear door on the north side. Very precise, a great amount of precision, and again the one gaping hole was the alarm system and the video system that was not disabled.
Why do you think that happened?
We believe, and again this is one of the areas that we're not satisfied with at the investigation at this point, that there may have been another participant, that was their job, was to disable that, because it's the only thing that fits. Everything was precise and precision driven to that point, yet you leave on an alarm system that captures on video the time you enter the compound and the time that you're in the house. And again, that just makes no sense.
That is one of the loose ends that investigators still have to follow. But Sheriff Morgan believes that just a week after the murders, the most important part of this investigation is done.
We are confident as a law enforcement agency that the violent offenders, those that, again, the 7 that entered the Billings compound and did this horrible thing to this family, are incarcerated. So I feel confident that our community is safe. We're now doing, again, the peripheral things. We're working the concentric circles and we're moving out. And so I think it's time to do that. It's
to pull back a bit.
To pull back a bit and give the team a little bit of a rest.
But there are larger questions about this case that the investigators may never be able to answer. The Billings had 9 adopted children at home with them, all disabled, 5 with Down syndrome. The perpetrators knew the Billings were wealthy, but they also must have known about the children. Do you believe that they set out to murder the Billings?
I can't speak to that issue, but I would say offhand, I don't believe so.
Clearly any murder is a cold-blooded act, but to murder the parents of adopted disabled children, there's something that elevates it to another level here. Do you have any sense that the defendants comprehend that?
No, but again, I've been subject to this many times. We have people who are asocial, that are sociopaths, that have no conscience.
You mean they just simply don't care?
They care about themselves only. It is about me. It is about my own personal wants and needs.
The sheriff says when all the details of this case are finally known, it may well be remembered in the same breath as the murders committed by Charles Manson and his followers. When you look at the act, can you understand it?
No, I cannot understand it. And I can tell you that the images will be with me for the rest of my life.
Bird and Melanie Billings will be buried tomorrow. I'm Jeffrey Kaufman for Nightline in Pensacola.